In a small, quiet village nestled among rolling hills, lived a young man named Ammar. His childhood was spent in the embrace of the mosque, where he learned his very first du'a beside his loving mother, Fatima. She was a woman of deep faith, who never began a day without prayer. As a young boy, Ammar would watch her mesmerized, as she raised her hands to the heavens and whispered, "Ya Allah, guide my son and keep his heart firm upon your path." As Ammar blossomed into a young man, the glittering allure of the city began to pull at his heart. The promise of success and a new life was too strong to ignore. He decided to leave his village, and in doing so, he left behind his mother, his prayers, and the mosque that had shaped his early years. Life in the city was a whirlwind, and slowly, the world's attractions grew stronger than the call to prayer. Years passed, but Fatima's faith never wavered. Her love for her son was woven into every prayer. Every single night, after her salah, she would raise her hands and pour her heart out in du'a, "Ya Allah, wherever my son is, please protect him. If he is lost, guide him. If he is far, bring him back to you." Her prayers became her strength, her unwavering connection to her son and her Lord. Even when hope felt heavy and her heart ached with longing, she held on to her trust in Allah's infinite patience and perfect timing. Meanwhile, in the bustling, faceless city, Ammar's life took a different turn. The 5 daily prayers, once a cornerstone of his existence, became an afterthought, and then they stopped altogether. His life became busy, filled with worldly pursuits. Then it became careless, as he drifted further from the values he was raised with. Finally, it became empty, without the spiritual nourishment of prayer. His heart began to harden, without the remembrance of Allah. The peace and tranquility he once knew completely disappeared, replaced by a restless anxiety he couldn't shake. One night, Ammar hit his lowest point. He found himself utterly alone, broken, and consumed by a profound emptiness that no worldly success could fill. It was a void that seemed to echo in the silence of his apartment, desperate for a sliver of peace. He wandered aimlessly through the city streets, his mind a storm of regret and confusion. It was on this dark night that his path crossed with a small, worn-out copy of the Qur'an, left on a bench in a quiet park. He picked it up, the familiar texture of the cover a distant memory. He opened it, and his eyes fell upon a verse that seemed to speak directly to his soul. "And indeed, your Lord is full of forgiveness for people despite their wrongdoing." This was from Surah Ar-Ra'd. The words pierced through the layers of heedlessness that had covered his heart. It shook, not with fear, but with a sudden, overwhelming sense of hope. For the first time in years, with tears streaming down his face, Ammar raised his hands. His voice was small, weak, and choked with emotion, but his du'a was sincere. "Ya Allah, I have wronged myself. I left your path, but I know you did not leave me. Please, guide me back." It was a prayer born from desperation and regret, a fragile whisper in the grand scheme of the universe, but Allah, in His infinite mercy, heard and accepted it. In that moment, a firm resolve settled in his heart. He had to go back. He had to return home. Ammar packed what little he had and began the long journey back to his village. The road was not easy. There were times when hardship struck, when he felt exhausted, hungry, and on the verge of giving up. But this time, he was not alone. Each time he felt weak, he would stop, turn to his Lord, and pray, "Ya Allah, I am weak. Give me strength and do not leave me alone." And help always came. It came in the most unexpected ways: a stranger offering water, a place to find shelter from the rain, a clear path when he thought he was lost. At every step, he felt the divine presence. He realized that Allah was being patient with him, not just in his years of wandering, but even now, on the road back. Every provision, every moment of ease, was a sign of Allah's gentle guidance, leading him home. At the first light of dawn, as the sky turned from gray to a soft pink, Ammar finally reached the outskirts of his village. The familiar scent of the earth and the sound of the morning birds filled him with a sense of peace he hadn't felt in years. He walked towards his childhood home, his heart pounding with a mix of nervousness and hope. Inside, Fatima had just finished her morning prayers. She was raising her hands for her daily du'a, the one she never missed, the one for her son, As she whispered his name, she looked up and saw a figure standing in the doorway. Her eyes widened. It was him. It was her. Ammar. Overwhelmed with a gratitude so immense it brought her to her knees, she fell into sujud, her forehead touching the prayer mat, and whispered, Alhamdulillah. Ya Allah, you returned him. Ammar wept. But these were not tears of shame or guilt. They were tears of pure, unadulterated gratitude. Gratitude for a mother whose prayers had formed a shield around him, and gratitude for a Lord whose mercy was vaster than his sins. Ammar's return was a true turning point. He repented sincerely and began to rebuild his life from the ground up. This time, however, prayer was not a ritual or a habit. It was the very center of his existence. He prayed when things were easy. In gratitude, he prayed when things were hard. For strength, he prayed simply because he finally understood the profound truth. Allah had been patient with him through every single delay, every mistake, and every step of his return. When people in the village would ask him what saved him, what brought him back from the brink, Ammar would smile with a serene light in his eyes and reply, a mother's du'a and a Lord who is infinitely patient. This story is a reminder for all of us. Ya Allah, we thank you for being patient with us when we fall short, when we stumble, and when we stray. Do not turn us away when we come back to you, with hearts full of hope and regret. Teach us to pray in times of hardship and in times of ease. Make us among those who never, ever lose hope in your boundless mercy. Ameen. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe, like, and share it so that others may also benefit from this reminder. Thank you for watching.